Today I'm out here with Gray Mare. You guys have all been seeing plenty of this horse's makeover. I'm gonna do some rope work with her, but one thing I want to tell you is a lot of times on my training horses I'll ride with the rope on my horn. I'm not going to be doing any roping out here. Y'all know I'm no stranger to roping, but I don't do much roping out here. But I do carry a rope on my saddle when I'm doing a lot of my training rides, just because as I'm riding, that rope's going to be flopping, that rope's going to be making noise. See, she's a little bit bothered by that. So the horses need to get used to that noise and that commotion and the different types of noises. So don't shield your horses, just kind of get your horses used to everything. But what we're going to be doing with her today is, one, I got a brand new rope, and I got some roping that I got to do next week, and I don't like brand new rope, so I might as well just kind of break this rope in before I get to roping critters with it. But this horse, any horse, every horse needs to be used to rope swinging. I'll kind of draw back as I'm swinging that rope. Let her kind of chase what's scaring her. Maybe settle that rope over her butt like that. Good. Now she's going to go off in a circle. This is all fine. It's a windy day. She's like, oh my goodness, what the heck's going on? I got gates banging everywhere. Jeepers. But now that rope's on her hips, she's just gonna pack it around. You guys all know my horse Duke. I do a lot of roping on that horse. And every time before I rope off of him, when I'm on him, I'll make a loop and I'll drape it over his butt just like that, because still that kind of bothers him. So every time I'm gonna be roping on him, I just kind of clear that up, build his confidence a little bit, and then I'm good to rope. As she's kind of trucking around that circle, I might just draw the lariat rope a little bit tighter and let her pack that. If she were to really booger out on me, then of course I'd just kind of take a hold of her, take her hips away from me, and get her to stand still. But this is pretty good right here. I'll ask her to stop. While she's facing me, I'll kind of draw my lariat rope. And I'd like for her to actually, when I draw my lariat rope up, I'd like for her to come to me. Like that. Not leave. I'd like her to come to me. I'd like her to seek her comfort from me, not from the exterior world. Good. Like everything we do with horses, don't be sneaky. I'm on the back side of this horse, just coiling my rope up and making my loop. Swing. Swing on top of her. Yep, she's tight as a full tick on a dog, but she's doing all right. Good. Send her off on a circle. Like always, rope awareness, know where your ropes are. The ship really hits the sand, well, if the ship really hits the sand, I'm in a confined area, so I can just drop all the ropes and then sort through the damage later. But if the ship hits the sand, maybe just drop your lariat coils and just hold on to your lead rope. I like that. She got a bit bothered and she said, hey, where are you at? I'm right here, sister. Yeah, right here. This is all stuff I'll do with the horse before I get the horse dragging things, before I ever rope off a horse. I'm not saying this horse will ever be roped off of in her life, but I can sure prepare her for getting tangled up in vines on the trail. You know, if she ever got loose and a lead rope got tangled up around her, she might be a little bit more prepared for that event by me doing this. I got it hooked on something over there. There we go. Send her back out. While she's at a walk, I'll settle that over her hips. Good. And just compare that to the first time I did it just a few minutes ago, where she kind of took off on me and was running around with it. You know, now she's thinking, now she's getting more confident with the rope. And I don't care if you guys are cowboys and if you rope, I'm not trying to turn you into that, although it's not a bad way to go about things, but it's more about your horsemanship. Every horse should be able to handle that and not freak out. Correct me if I'm wrong if you'd like, but I'm probably not going to believe you. And the more scared your horse is, the more fidgety your horse is around ropes and things like that, then the more you probably ought to be doing these things. Good girl. She shouldn't freak out. I should be able to draw my lariat a little tight, and she ought to just come towards me. Might not, but that's what she ought to do. Another thing I like to do, this is a new rope, so it might not stay on my horn, but I just take that loop, hang it on my horn, kind of tighten it up. Ask her off. And if you guys are doing this at home, see how I have that coil right there? I don't want that coil, so I'm going to take these coils in my hand and I'm going to twist the whole coils in my hand so that that coil that was in the middle of the rope came out. So now I'm working with a flat rope. Just kind of get her used to this stuff. She got to be moving. I can take that rope and I can pitch it over her butt. Attempt to get it over her butt like that. A lot of horses, you do that too, and they're going to want to turn to the outside. I don't want her to turn to the outside. That's why I have this blue rope on that halter. Just kind of let her track around like that. Good girl. Maybe get it up under her tail head. You don't want to find out your horse doesn't like things under their tail head when you're riding them. I can promise you that. So I might just set that rope under her tail head. She's kind of clamped down on it, that's fine. But she's hanging with me, doing a heck of a job. Good girl. While she's facing me, let's do some of this stuff. You know, there's a process when you're two-man doctoring or even one-man doctoring a cow where I'll rope a cow and then I'll get off my horse. And when I'm off the horse, of course, I'll be dallied onto my horn and this rope's gonna be down here to the critter on the ground, and I'll be down here tying up some legs and working with it. And the last thing I need is my horse freaking out and running, because then I'll be reaching for my knife right quick and trying to cut some rope before my cow gets drugged to death. So get them used to these things. From one eye to the other eye, maybe in between the ears. You gotta get used to all of this stuff. That's really good. I like that. So those are some things that I do with some almost every horse, but especially the horses that are nervous and anxious. And the more nervous and anxious your horses are about ropes and the noise of the ropes, then the more you need to get your horse used to and confident around those things. Catch you next time.